Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, October 6th, day 66. We are 2/3 of the way through Big Brother 25. We had Nicole evicted last night by a unanimous 7-0 vote. And we had Bowie Jane become the next head of household. This is why I wait to talk about what might happen, because I did not expect Bowie Jane to win. That was kind of an interesting head of household competition. It was a quiz. They had pictures of caricatures of house guests doing different things like fake social media posts, and they had to remember what they were doing or what was going on in the pictures. And Bowie Jane and Felicia were perfect. They are 7 out of 7 on those questions. Everybody else missed at least one question, although quite a few were doing well. And they came down to a tiebreaker, which was an interesting tiebreaker question. I'm going to analyze this for a little bit. It was lots of people had fun making fun of the results, but I want to try to figure out how they got to those weird, strange numbers they got to. So the question was, how many minutes was Jared a zombie from the time he re-entered the house until Cameron won the power to or the ability, won the rights to get back into the house, right? Until Cameron won that little ball rolling competition. When Julie announced that, and it was minutes, Bowie Jane almost immediately had like the number 27 written down, which that's 27 minutes. And it was like she flipped it around, and it's like, wait, what? And Felicia was calculating up until the very last minute when she just threw the number 45,000, I think. Was it 4,500 or was it? Yeah, I think it was 400. Was it 450,000? So 45,000, I think, was the number she threw up there. But right before she threw up the 45,000 number, Bowie Jane added a 6 to the front of her 27. So her number was 627. And Felicia's number was 45,000, which almost looks like 450 and change of .00, but there wasn't a dot. She also had 60 and 60 and a little X on the wrong side of the equation. It looked like 60 times 60. Obviously, she was trying to come up with minutes, or she was calculating minutes. I'm not sure if she was saying like 60 minutes times 60. I didn't know where she was going with 60 hours. I'm not sure where she was coming up with 60 hours. But let's just not worry about that. But and the 60 with the X may or may not have been multiplication, but obviously that's not 60 times 60 is not 45,000. It would have been 3,600, which would have been a great number if she'd thrown up there, because it would have been enough to win, because she would have beaten Bowie Jane, but she would have been closer to the number, which was 10,000 something, by a long shot, closer than when she was 35,000 over the number, right? And Bowie Jane, just because of the fact that she was so low, I don't think it was Price is Right rules. I think it was just closest to that number, and so it could have, Bowie Jane could have written like 20,000, and well, she wouldn't have won with 20,000 because Bowie Jane technically would have been closer, but she'd written 15,000, she would have won, right? Or 18,000. All right, so why did Bowie Jane write 27? This was my guess. My guess is that she thought hours, and she thought between the time that Jared re-entered the house and Cameron won the first competition, the one that allowed him to decide, because that was decided Friday night, right? That was decided late Friday night, I think. And that would have been roughly 27 hours, because it would have been Thursday all day, and then they finished up Friday night, I think. I don't think they finished Saturday. I think they finished Friday night. And so my guess is that she was going with 27 hours, and then she realized, oh, wait, it's minutes, and just in a panic, just threw a 6 in front of the 27, which obviously is nowhere near the 10,000 number, but it was closer than 27. That's my guess. I haven't heard her explain it. The feeds were off until after like almost 1:30 in the morning Eastern time, because for the most part this season, CBS is now not letting us see the feeds until 20 minutes after the show airs on the eviction show airs on the West Coast. Why? I don't know, and I'm annoyed with it, which is what my last tweet that's out there right now says. It's like, I don't get why they're doing this. It's not helping. It's not hurting their ratings. People on the West Coast aren't gonna not watch the show because the feeds are already back on. They're just not. The fraction of people that are is minuscule versus the number of people that will be watching the live feeds and talking about Big Brother and hyping it up. Sometimes my busiest day on the feeds is the night after evictions, that night after evictions, and then the following Friday. But they just, I don't know. I know what it is. They just don't care about they just don't feel that the feeds are that important overall to the buzz about the show, or they think that there's already enough buzz out there about the feeds. And I'll tell you what, between you and me, and hopefully not production, although I doubt anybody from production is listening to this, but between you and me, there's been a problem with the feeds this week. And I haven't checked it late yesterday, but you can't go back and watch the live feeds for this month. The last time the live feeds are available, last I checked, was September 26th. If you go to live feeds and try to flash back to anything that's happened since September 26th, unless it was in the last 24 hours, you won't be able to do it. They advertise that you can flash back to any point in the show. You can see things you've missed. That's not an option. And the fact that it has been off for over a week now, and there is no outcry on the public's part, no one is screaming about it, they don't seem to be trying to fix it, tells me that there's probably very few people that actually use flashback to go back and see what they've missed. Just a few of us super, super diehards that like to analyze things and really figure things out. And we're few and far between. And so it's not worth it to them to fix whatever problem it is that is going on. Which, for people that don't ever check it out, they're like, yeah, who cares? The problem is that eventually they're going to go like, well, no one cares about the live feeds. No one cares about the ability to flashback, so we're going to turn it off. And then people will miss it, because the few people that do spend time going back and looking at things occasionally record that stuff, share that stuff, use it to verify things, and they are looked at as resources, and they won't be available anymore. And we won't be able to do it, and so we won't be able to fact check things and see what happened. And then it'll be missed. But by that point, it will be too late. Right? So that's just a random thought. If you think about it, you might want to shoot a message to CBS in some form and say, hey, fix the live feeds. But myself and Liquidated and a couple have made those posts on tweets, and they don't get much traction from people. I just don't think people care. They don't realize what's not available to them, and they don't care. And eventually they will, but it'll be too late. All right, so maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they'll fix it, but I just don't feel like they're motivated to do that. Okay, what else is going on? I don't know. The feeds came back, like I said. Bowie Jane has had a household. All I can go by is what has happened so far. I said I was turning in, and I actually saw the feeds come back for a little bit last night, but I go to bed. It's past my bedtime, but I did watch a few minutes of the feeds. There was nothing major going on. Obviously, the show had been over for 3 hours. They were kind of done talking about whatever they were going to talk, and they kind of got into it wasn't like there was major strategy going on at that point. They were all just sitting around talking and doing stuff. It wasn't exciting or anything, but it seems like Bowie Jane seems to be close to America and Corey last night. That's who she was hanging out with. But if you remember, I think I mentioned it at some point last week, Matt and Jag had talked about making Bowie Jane their third final, part of a Final 3 deal. And so I think they have a pretty solid relationship. Now the question is, where does Bowie Jane fit in with Felicia, Sri, and Blue and Cameron? if you remember way back when Cameron got blindsided, when Red got voted out, Bowie Jane was left out of this information because they felt that Bowie Jane, Suri, Felicia, the other people in that alliance felt that Bowie Jane was too close with Red and Cameron, and they kind of left her out of everything, so she was completely blindsided by that vote. I imagine there's a part of that where Bowie Jane has still not completely forgiven Felicia and Suri for that move. That's my guess. We'll see what happens here. And I say that because I think she's looking at nominating those two. And I'm wondering if it's going to be a part of that she's going to pull back on, go back to and say, remember when you did this? You kind of didn't seem to have my best intentions at your heart. You guys left me in the dark while you made plan changes. So here you go. Now you're nominated. I don't know if that'll happen. Today will be more telling, but we aren't at today yet. They're sleeping, so we'll know more during today's meetings where everybody meets with Bowie J. Now, it's possible that they're still up right now. I didn't look at the feeds when I got up this morning. I don't think they are. I imagine they went to bed, but it's possible that Bowie Jane right now is talking about all this stuff, and I just don't know it yet. But I don't think that's the case. I think I've got a good idea of kind of what's going on, but there could be some late night stuff that went on that I wasn't aware of. So I may do a follow-up podcast later today if I have a different sense. We'll see. The other thing would be, as far as who she might go after Blue, maybe. I don't know if Cameron. She was kind of tight with Cameron. Remember it was her and Red and Cameron at one point. I don't know if that relationship with Cameron is still that strong, but she was in the mix a little bit this past week. As I think I mentioned yesterday, when Jag was reporting about his meeting with Corey and Matt and America, where they were deciding to go after Nicole, Jag was reporting that information back to Cameron, and Bowie Jane was in the room. So she was aware of what was going on. So she was being included in conversations last week about getting Nicole out, and so I think she's kind of okay with Cameron. I don't know how she is with Blue. And again, my Felicia and Suri, I just think that she may still be a little bit upset about how they treated her weeks ago. And America and Corey were hanging around with her, so she may be being polite, or she may be actually in good with them. I'm not 100% sure. Again, we'll know more when we see what these conversations happen today, how she talks to people. I don't know if she'll talk to us or not, via the camera. I don't know if she'll say, oh, this is what I got to do. I think this. I don't know if we'll see that, or if we'll just have to interpret her discussions with other people and read between the lines. So there we go. We're down to 9 house guests. Someone on my timeline yesterday, when I said the jury starts on Thursday, they were this coming Thursday, as far as that'll be the first jury member going to jury. They said, no, the first jury member starts tonight, being last night, because they're going to have a 7-person jury and a 3-person finalist. And I kind of freaked out a little bit, like, wait, where did I miss this announcement? Well, 3-person finalists, what are they talking about? They were wrong. So no, there's no 3-person finalist. It is a 2-person finalist with a 7-person jury. So we have 9 house guests left, and kind of have 4 pairs of 2 and Bowie Jane. If you think about it, you've got America, Corey, you've got Jag and Matt, you've got Suri and Felicia, kind of, and then you've got kind of Cameron and Blue. So the Cameron and Blue and the Felicia and Suri pairing is a little bit of a stretch, but they are also kind of affiliated with each other. And Bowie Jane has been kind of the third wheel on a couple of different alliances. That's why it's going to be interesting to see who she goes after or how it falls out. That will come up later today. I'll do a short CarCast maybe tonight after I have a better idea of what things are going to shake out, because I'm just not sure. And I don't really want to make you guys wait until Monday. And my weekend CarCasting is hit or miss. Oh, but I will be doing some stuff tomorrow. All right. Let me just overanalyze and talk to myself, and you guys will have to just guess. I will do one either tonight or tomorrow. I do have some driving I have to do tomorrow where I'll be probably alone. And so, yeah, I may do it tomorrow too. We'll figure it out. One way or the other, I will not wait until Monday to do another CarCast and fill you guys in on what is going on. All right? There we go. That's all I got. I don't have any more Survivor talk since Brandon is no longer on Survivor. I watched part of a couple of interviews. I will watch some more. I'm still very proud of Brandon, not that he particularly cares whether I'm proud of him or not, but I think it was really cool to see him participate, and I'm amazed at the amount of hate that some people have towards people who go on that show and maybe don't do as well as they expected and struggle. Just the whole, you suck, you're terrible, what a waste of a space kind of a thing. And I'm not that's been vented towards a couple of different. The first two people that are off of Survivor there's just been a lot of hate towards them, and it's amazing that the people that are spewing this hate are just plain, that's just what they like to do. That they're just mean. And they've got a platform to jump around and scream at people. My answer would be, yeah, I'd love to see any of these people on the show and do well, because I'm guessing that they just wouldn't stand a chance. And so there, yeah, whatever you say, people. It was cool watching it, and yeah, I'd love to see Brandon on something else. You just didn't get to see the side of Brandon that I have seen. You got to see bits and pieces of it, but it's more of his social game. It's more of just how funny he is and his ability to talk. And I think they should show some of that on the TV show, but you didn't get to see it in the way. Even I've seen it in small doses the times I've played the games of Sequester, because we did play a couple of different games, and I watched him play a lot of games of Sequester. Quite a few. I say quite a few. Probably 3 or 4, I'm guessing. I don't know. But he and I played together in at least 2. We were supposed to play in a third one. At least a third one, if we didn't play more than... No, I think we played in 3 together. And we were supposed to play in a 4th, and it got canceled because the whole Sequester thing blew up. I just was looking through my timeline discussion with Brandon, and I got a refund because we would pay to play that game, by the way. I paid like $25. I was paying like $25 to play it, and he sent me a refund, but we were supposed to play it. Oh, I'm still pissed off about that. Yeah. So, anyways, now I digress. Anything else to talk about? No, not really. I think we're done. You guys have a good weekend. It has turned chilly here. It is currently 50 degrees here in Indiana. The weather was 80 earlier this week, but it's now cool, so almost feels like actual fall. And I'm just like ready for Big Brother to be done. And we got 30 more days. We got 34 more days of Big Brother, folks. We're going till November. Yikes. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. We'll talk to you all later. Thanks to all my supporters. Thank you for everyone who's listening to this. And if anything exciting happens, like I said, I'll be back on. But I will do another one of these before Monday and kind of fill you in on what Bowie Jane's doing as far as her moves. I think she's going to nominate Suri and Felicia if I had to guess right now. And it's possible that Blue could end up as the backup if one of them comes down, and I don't know who's going to get voted out. This is potential that they might finally take a shot at Suri, and Suri might be going to jury. I would, if you had to make me pick right now, I would say either Suri, Felicia, Blue, maybe Cameron would be going to jury next Thursday. Those are my guesses, but I won't be shocked if I'm wrong either. All right, there you go. Take care. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you guys before Monday for sure. All right, see ya. Bye-bye.